Namibia's demand for electricity has increased over the past few years, and it continues to do so due to high economic growth in the country. And over the years, demand has continued to exceed supply. For a look at Namibia's power sector, we're joined in our studio at CNBC in Windhoek by O'Brien Hikanjo, who is Chief Technical Officer at NamPower. Good evening, O'Brien. Let's just talk firstly. There's this interesting Kudu gas to power project. What's the value of this project, and what will the effect be on the Namibian power supply situation?
Yeah, I think as a country, like you described earlier, we have had significant growth in our energy sector. As a country, for years we've been reliant heavily on imports from Eskom, from Zimbabwe, from Zambia. In fact, annually we import about 60% of our entire energy requirements for the country. So in essence, a project of this magnitude of Kudu Power, which is estimated to be about 800 megawatts, will really satisfy the energy requirements for Namibia going forward. I think it will allow Namibia to really be independent in terms of its energy requirements.
Well, that's a fantastic thing for the economy. Gas to power, how long is it going to take to get this up? What's the value of the project? Where's the investment coming from?
In terms of the timing, we see this project coming in 2018. Basically, it's a partnership between NamPower, the state utility, NAMCO, which is also a state utility dealing with petroleum import-export, and also some private players on the upstream, and also some regional partners also in the whole mix. And really, the idea is really just to create a vehicle where we can leverage of other public sector and also tap into the private funding or private financing, and that's really the whole idea. I think alone as NamPower, obviously the project is just too big for us to do on our own. On the plant itself, it's estimated to be about $1 billion US. So it's quite a big project. So I think by partnering up with the private and public sector, I think together we'll be able to make this project a reality.
And what's it going to look like in terms of where is it going to be, the logistics of it? Is it conveniently situated? Where does the gas come from? And given all those logistical aspects, when does it actually start coming on stream?
A lot of the work, obviously, I think you might have seen the media that some of the agreements, such as the project development agreement, has been signed. The project itself, as a plant, will be situated down south, close to Ludwig's side, Oranjemund side. Basically, there will then be a pipeline that will go out into the sea to the well side. NamPower as a utility, we had made some pre-investment in transmission already, a line which was built to cater for one of our local mines, which is really, it was a pre-investment in such that it's close to proximity to the Kudu power station. And so in terms of the integration of the plant, there are requirements to build a line to the Namibian network and to the Eskom network, but on the Namibian side, some pre-investment has already been made. So the project is being fast-tracked. I mean, as you can see, we are heavily reliant on imports, and some of these contracts are coming to an end. So really, we are on quite a fast-track timeline to get this project up and running by 2018.
You mentioned getting supply previously from Eskom, and of course, we're in South Africa very interested about that because we would like you to help us. To what extent are you going to be able to provide Eskom with some power?
I think the project itself is a 800 megawatt plant. Obviously, on the Namibian side, it is planned that only of the 800, only the 400 megawatts will be consumed locally. There are some high-level discussions with Eskom in terms of their participation because the plant is located quite close to the South African border near the Northern Cape. So it's actually perfectly located to supply that much needed energy, especially in the Western Cape areas.
Well, that'll be encouraging too. Of course, the one thing that you do have with a project like this, you've got big distances. Namibia is a big country. You talk about the Northern Cape, the vast distances there. So particular attention to the transmission network here and getting that current moving through such long distances.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the plant is sort of isolated, but I know on the Namibian side, there are already some pre-investment to bring the infrastructure close to the plant. In order for us to enable power flow to the South African grid, we have to build some 400 kV lines to an area, I think, I can't remember the name now. That's close to Juno. I can't remember exactly the substation, but we have to build a 400 kV line across towards the Eskom network, and also 400 kV line towards the Alexander Bay area, 220 kV line towards Alexander Bay area. What is happening on the Eskom side, they are currently undergoing huge expansions on renewable energy, especially in the Northern Cape area, and they are actually extending their grid towards that area. So what it means, it just brings basically our connection point to the Eskom network a lot closer. On the Eskom side, that expansion is, I think, is going ahead. So there is some synergies between the two utilities in terms of integrating the Kudu power station.